Hi, everyone. This is Joyelle Brandt here. I am a self-care coach for moms, and in particular, I work with moms who are survivors of childhood abuse and are trying to figure out the positive ways that they can work on their own self-care and self-regulation while dealing with the triggers of parenting. And so today we're going to talk about some self-soothing strategies that you can use for yourself and you can also use with your kids. And these are simple techniques to help you calm down. Now, I wanted to talk about why this is so important for the moms, because we all know that kids need help learning to regulate their emotions. But the thing is, adults need help too, and especially adults who've experienced childhood trauma. So what happens to our nervous systems when we experience trauma at an early age is that they kind of get set on this high alert. And the amygdala, which is that part of your brain which is responsible for detecting threat, tends to become hypersensitive. And so it will react more often and it will react more intensely, sending a message to your body that you are in imminent danger when in fact you're not. And the system tends to get engaged more often than is healthy for us. And so self-soothing strategies are there to help us tell that nervous system, let's cue safety, let's cue that we are not in danger right now, and we're going to be okay, and to help us re-regulate that nervous system. Now, when we're choosing self-soothing strategies for ourselves, of course, we are all completely different individuals, and what works for one person might not work for another person. So I'm going to give you 4 or 5 strategies today. Maybe one of those works for you. Or maybe one of those works for you today, but it doesn't work another day, but a different strategy will work for you tomorrow or even later today. So what I really recommend is building up what I call a compassion toolkit for yourself, which is your personalized list of self-soothing strategies that work for you. And coming back and even writing it down, posting it somewhere in your house so that on the days when you're really stressed, you have that resource there. Because when we're under stress, of course, we know that not only does the amygdala get engaged, but our prefrontal cortex, that part that's responsible, that thinking brain, goes offline. So in the times when we need our self-soothing strategies the most, that's the moment in time when, of course, our brain's completely shut down and you cannot think of a single thing to do, even though you know you have strategies and you know you have made a long list of them before. So that's why I recommend keeping a list of your self-soothing strategies, putting it somewhere prominent in your house so that you can reference it in those moments when you literally cannot think because you're so stressed. So the best time to use a self-soothing strategy is when you're just starting to notice that your stress level has just risen a bit. Of course, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes we don't clue in to what's happening inside of our bodies until it's gone to full-on blowout. But if you can get into the habit of noticing, and of course, again, this is a very personal thing, noticing stress shows up differently in all of our bodies. So what is it for you that you notice? For myself, what I notice quite often is that place between the pelvic bone, right at the base of my spine, gets really tight. And all of a sudden, I notice that my entire butt is clenched. And I have to consciously relax those muscles. It could be that you notice that your breathing has become really shallow. And that's another great cue that stress is happening inside of your body. So whatever that is, whatever your personal thing is, trying to learn to tune in when your body is giving you a message that you're under stress, that's the time when you want to use a self-soothing strategies. So today I have 4 strategies that I wanted to share with you. And the first one I wanted to share with you because I recently came to understand how important this strategy is for myself. Over the holidays, I got strep throat followed by laryngitis. And I had to be very careful. I couldn't use my voice very much at all. And I discovered just how important humming is for my personal self-regulation. Now, I should know this already because I remember in the middle of my Math 11 final exam being told that I had to stop humming, which I was doing completely unconsciously to calm myself because I was really stressed out and do not like or do well with math at all. And as soon as the person made me stop humming, I could feel my anxiety spike through the roof, because that was the strategy that I was unconsciously taking on in that moment to calm myself down. So that was an example of unconsciously using it. One time I very consciously used it was when I was giving birth to my first son. And I would actually hum a really low bass tone while I was going through contractions when I was in labor with him, to calm my body, to signal cues of safety, to help my body process. So humming is something that you might find yourself doing throughout the day, and it is something that can really help you. And this is great to work with kids too. So you'll notice that often at the beginning of a yoga class, they will do that om tone where they hold it and they say, om. Now, if you stop and do that yourself, you're going to feel the sensations, maybe a little bit of vibration in your lips, maybe a bit of resonance in the chest cavity, maybe even a little bit lower down your back. And this is an incredibly powerful soothing technique. Again, what we want to do is cue safety to the body. And this technique can help that vagus nerve alert it to the fact that you're good, you're safe. And you can try this sitting with your children when they're feeling stressed. And you could even just start by yourself and see if you can get them to join in. So that's number one, just super simple humming. You know, hum along in your car when you're listening to music. Just hum when you're in the shower. We all do it. Everybody sings in the shower. So use that throughout your day. So another one that we know is really helpful for kids, of course, we do this unconsciously when we're have little babies, right? We rock them. And I know I spent a lot of time. I had a fantastic glider rocking chair I was so grateful for, and I still have to this day. And I would sit in there with my little baby for a lot of time when they were little. And it really helped to soothe them, and it really helped to soothe me. So now I keep my glider rocking chair and I use it just for me now. And sometimes I just go up there and stare out the window and rock back and forth. You know, when we think about people who have challenges with regulation, for example, people with autism, you notice that they automatically go to rocking because it's helping to reset that nervous system. So it's something that's, again, really simple. And you might see that your kids do that unconsciously when they're really upset, they rock themselves. So adults can use all of these techniques as well. Now, the third one that I really love to do with my kids is a kitchen dance party. And this is a great one for when the vibe in the house has gotten to 10 and everybody is super stressed, and not just stress, but that energy level. You know, there's a stress that's kind of like a low energy stress, that's like a depressed kind of stress. And then there's that high energy, nervous kind of stress. And that energy, sometimes you really need the large scale body movements to be able to help the system work through those. And that's why dancing is so great, because it gets all of those systems moving, right? And especially if while you're dancing, you can move a lot of movements using your hips, where you're maybe even doing some hip circles or figure eights. Those are really great to help that stress move down out through that spot that gets stuck, right? For me, I was saying earlier, like it's the base of the spine. That's always the spot that gets really tight and really blocked. And you want to just get that energy moving through your body instead of having it stay stuck in your body in that sense where it just starts to feel really overwhelming. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for listening. Glad you're here. And my last one I wanted to share with you. And this one, I got a little prop here. I have a bed sheet. And I'm going to wrap this bed sheet all the way around me. Now, when I find this most helpful is you have this experience where it feels like your skin is crawling and you're so overstimulated that you just want to like peel your skin off. I feel like this is such a great strategy for that. And this is the sheet hug. So I get this sheet and I wrap it around myself. Now, this is something you do for yourself. I would never do this for someone else, but I would encourage someone else to do it for themselves. Like for a child, I would never try to wrap them in a sheet hug. That would be very traumatizing for them. But I would show them how they could do it for themselves. And if it feels good, then they can do that. And you just grab this sheet and you wrap it around yourself as tight as you can and just hold yourself there. And you can incorporate some of the rocking too. But it's just that feeling of giving yourself that feeling of being held, of being able to feel, does this make sense? Feel the edges of your body. Really get in touch with those sensations. And I find when I'm feeling really overwhelmed by everything, that this just helps me get those sensations back. Of, okay, here's the edges, here's where my body is now, here I am in this space, in this time, and in this moment. What we want to do is get our bodies here and present and in the moment, because our systems are being cued that there is a threat. And in fact, the threat happened a long time ago, but the body doesn't know that in the moment. So we want to remind the body that we are here in this moment now, and in this moment, we are safe. So that's my 4 favorite techniques to use for some really simple in the moment. And I would encourage you, if you're using this with your child around, you could even narrate to your child. I'm feeling really stressed right now. You know, I think I'm just going to give myself a sheet hug right now to help my body calm down. Or I'm feeling like a little bit too much energy right now and I need to get it out. I think I'm going to need to put some music on and dance for a few minutes until I can feel calm again. And this is teaching your children in the moment, oh, hey, this is a technique that I could use for myself to calm myself down. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for you to have that conversation with your kids about self-regulation. Someone just commented that she always keeps a shawl with her because to be able to cocoon herself. Yes, that's a great way to do it. Then whenever you're out on the go, you could have it with you, and anytime you need that comfort, it's there. What a fantastic idea. So what I would encourage you to do, again, is start from the beginning and start to cue in to what is your body telling you? How does your body communicate with you when it's stressed? And we all have our own individual ways that our bodies tell us when something is getting to be too much. The first step is always stop and breathe, which is the hardest. And then choose one strategy from your list and give it a try. And if that doesn't work, choose another strategy. And that's why I recommend keeping the list of strategies up on your fridge or somewhere. You could, if you're out and about, you could have a list on your phone of strategies. Oh, that's great too. So we can't throw a sheet over the irritating cashier or colleague. Oh, I think that's frowned upon. Well, we have to take responsibility for our own reactions, don't we? Darn it. Yeah. And remember that you are probably already using some of these things unconsciously, and it's just a matter of collecting the strategies that work for you and using them consciously, and then sharing them with your family so that you can together have a language that we use around self-soothing. So that's it for today. And if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the comments, and you can always reach me at joyellebrandt.com. And I am available for one-on-one work with people and speaking and workshops if you would like to learn more about any of these things. So in conclusion, I hope that you will be very gentle with yourself today. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to you. Bye, everybody.